Do you know what it feels like when someone you love looks you dead in the eyes and decides you are the easiest person in the room to destroy? I am Melissa. And before I tell you everything, hit follow, because what happened that Christmas night changed my entire life. It shattered every illusion I had about family, loyalty, and love, and trust me, the ending is nothing you are expecting. That evening was supposed to be peaceful. I had even convinced myself stupidly that maybe this year would be different. Maybe my sister Claire would not spend the whole dinner reminding everyone that she was dating a CEO, living in a penthouse, driving a car I could not even afford to dream about. Maybe she would not find a new angle to make me feel small. But the moment I walked through the door of my parents' house, I knew I was wrong. Claire was standing there like she owned the entire living room. Red dress, hair curled perfectly, jewelry that shimmered every time she moved. And right next to her stood Ethan, her billionaire tech startup CEO boyfriend. The man she would not shut up about for the entire past year. I showed up wearing a simple sweater and jeans. I was coming straight from my shift at the hospital. I had not slept in 2 days. My eyes hurt. My back hurt. Everything hurt. But the moment Claire saw me, she looked me up and down and said loud enough for the whole room to hear, "Oh my God. Melissa, did you even try tonight?" Everyone laughed. Ethan did not. He gave her a weird look like he was embarrassed for her. But Claire didn't notice. She never noticed. "Work," I said quietly, taking off my coat. "I just came from the ER." "Well," she smirked, "some of us didn't want the Christmas photos to look uneven." My stomach twisted. Same old Claire. Dinner smelled like roasted chicken and cinnamon. It should have felt warm, safe, but the whole time, I could feel Claire preparing something. She loved ambushes. Loved knowing she had the upper hand before anyone else even realized. A game was being played. She started small. "Oh, Melissa, are you still living in that tiny apartment? Oh, Melissa, are you still single? Oh, Melissa, do you even get holidays off, or is that, not a thing for you?" I smiled tight. I always smiled. That was the role I had learned to play since childhood. The quiet, polite sister who didn't make trouble. But something in me was cracking. I could feel it. Every comment felt sharper than the last. I kept glancing at Ethan. He looked uncomfortable, watching Claire talk. At one point, he even said, "Hey, maybe give her a break," but Claire waved him off. "Oh, relax. She's my sister. This is how we joke." Except it was never a joke. She never stopped. When we sat at the dinner table, I tried to keep my head down, but Claire was on a mission. "Everyone, listen to this," she announced, raising her glass dramatically. "You are going to love this story." My heart dropped. When Claire said that, it meant humiliation was coming. "So," she began, looking right at Ethan, "you know how some people choose careers because they are passionate, and some choose them because it is literally the only thing they can get?" Mom chuckled. Dad smirked. They already knew where she was going. She pointed at me. "Melissa here, our sweet, kind Melissa, wanted to be a surgeon. But guess what?" I felt heat rising in my face. "Please stop. Please just stop." She failed her exam twice. Everyone laughed again. Except Ethan. "That's not funny," he said softly. But Claire kept going, enjoying the attention. She says she failed because she had anxiety, but maybe she just isn't cut out for the big stuff, you know? I wanted to sink into the floor. My throat tightened, but I forced myself to breathe. I did fail the exam. I had panic attacks during the testing period. I had tried explaining it to my parents. They said I was making excuses. Claire said I was jealous of her success. "What is wrong with you?" Ethan said, looking genuinely annoyed. "Why would you say that at dinner?" Claire laughed like he was the crazy one. "It is not serious. She is used to it." But something in Ethan's eyes changed. He kept staring at Claire as if seeing her clearly for the first time. I kept my gaze on my plate. My hands were shaking, but I hid them under the table. Mom eventually said, okay, enough. Let us move on." But Claire was not done. After dinner, while everyone was getting dessert, she pulled out her phone with a dramatic sigh. "Oh, I almost forgot. Ethan, check this out." My stomach dropped again. She turned the screen around, and there it was. A photo of me crying in the backyard last Thanksgiving. I had been overwhelmed, exhausted, and hiding behind the shed to breathe. "How did you even—" I started, but Claire cut me off. "Everyone, look!" She was crying because her boyfriend dumped her. Again. Isn't that hilarious? My body froze. Mom laughed. Dad snorted. A few cousins giggled awkwardly. I felt naked. Completely exposed. Humiliated in a way I had never felt before. "Delete that," Ethan said sharply. Claire blinked. "What? Why?" "Because it's disgusting that you kept that," he snapped. She rolled her eyes. "It is just a joke. Melissa knows I love her." No, I didn't. And that was the first time someone else finally saw it. I excused myself and went to the bathroom. I locked the door and stared at myself in the mirror. My eyes were red. My hands were trembling. I felt like a child again, small, pathetic, invisible. I could hear Claire's voice echoing through the hallway, bragging, laughing, continuing the show. And then I heard Ethan say something that made my heart pound. "Claire, why are you so obsessed with tearing her down?" She snapped back, "Do not make me look like the villain. She's dramatic. She deserves it. Deserves it." Those words replayed in my mind over and over. Deserves it. I splashed my face with water, trying to breathe. I wanted to leave. I wanted to disappear. But something told me to stay. Something heavy, simmering, rising inside me. When I stepped out of the bathroom, Ethan was waiting in the hallway. I froze, embarrassed, but he spoke quietly. "Are you okay?" I nodded even though I wasn't. "You do not have to take this," he said. "None of what she's doing is normal." I forced a smile. "It is fine. I am used to it." "That is the saddest part," he muttered. We walked back toward the dining room. Claire noticed us and immediately clung to Ethan's arm. "Finally," she said loudly. I was getting bored. Her voice carried across the room. Everyone was settling back in. The lights felt too bright. The air felt too tight. And then, without warning, Claire held up her glass. "Okay, everyone. Time for a Christmas toast." I froze. Ethan looked tired. Mom beamed. Dad leaned back like he was settling in for entertainment. Claire lifted her glass higher. "To my sister," she began. My heart dropped. To Melissa, who still has not figured out what she wants in life. But at least she is trying. People chuckled. It wasn't the words. It was the tone. The smirk. The spotlight she forced on me. She was not done. "And honestly," she continued, "I am proud of you. I mean, sure, you might never reach the level I am at, but—" "Enough," Ethan said sharply. But Claire talked over him. "But hey, we all have different paths. Some of us become CEO's girlfriends, and some of us—" "Claire," Ethan repeated, louder this time, "stop." She blinked, irritated. "Why are you being so sensitive?" "It is just Melissa." And in that moment, something snapped. In him. Not me. He stood up. The entire table fell silent. He stared at her like he was seeing a stranger. And then he said the one sentence that made the room freeze. "You have 18 employees messaging me, privately begging to quit, because of the way you treat them." Claire's face went pale. Mom gasped. Dad frowned. "What are you talking about?" Claire stuttered. Ethan didn't sit down. He didn't smile. He didn't blink. He just said, "I saw the video you posted last month, mocking your own staff. And now I understand exactly who you are." Everyone stared. Claire whispered, "Ethan, sit down, stop embarrassing me." But he wasn't finished. "I have been reviewing complaints for weeks," he said quietly. "And I wanted to believe you were better than this. But after watching how you treated your own sister—" He shook his head. "I cannot ignore it anymore." My chest tightened. "What do you mean?" Claire asked, voice cracking. And then Ethan said the words that would change everything. "After tonight, you will no longer be working at my company." The room exploded. "What?" Claire screamed. Mom yelled at him. Dad slammed his hand on the table. Everyone talked at once. But Ethan stayed calm. "You brought this on yourself," he said simply. Claire lunged toward him, gripping his arm. "You cannot do this. Ethan, please, listen to me. Melissa is manipulating you." Everyone turned to me. My heart stopped. For the first time, all the spotlight was on her, and she was crumbling. And just when I thought things could not get worse, Claire pointed at me with shaking hands and screamed, "She did something to you. I know she did. Tell them. Tell them what you did, Melissa. Tell them about—" She stopped. Everyone waited. My breath caught in my throat. Claire's eyes widened. And that is when I realized she was about to reveal something I did not even know she knew. Something big. Something dangerous. Something that would change everything. "Tell them about what?" Ethan asked. Claire opened her mouth. And that is where I will stop. The look on Ethan's face stayed in my mind the entire night. The way he stared at me, like he already knew something was terribly wrong. And honestly, I felt it too. Something in my bones told me the truth was about to open, up like a trapdoor under my feet. I barely slept. My chest kept tightening every time I replayed my sister's voice in that hallway. Her laugh, her little whisper right before she left me standing there like trash thrown out on Christmas night. You really think he notices you? Those words clawed at me until the sun came up. The next morning, Ethan texted me. Can we talk? My fingers shook. Yes, when? His reply was immediate. Now. I opened the door and he walked in like a storm dressed in a suit. No smile, no warmth. Just quiet tension, the kind that makes your stomach twist. He sat down. Nora, there is something I need to tell you. And you need to stay calm. Calm? I felt like I was breathing through broken glass. He took out his phone and handed it to me. Read this. My hands were sweating by the time I pressed play on the voice message. And just like that, my world cracked. It was my sister's voice. Drunk, giggling, bragging to her friend after Christmas dinner. I told you I can get any man I want. Ethan only hangs around because of me. Not her. She is just a charity project. A sad little shadow. I told him if he wants me, he has to break her down first. He is doing amazing. Poor girl does not even see it. I felt the blood drain from my face. My ears rang so loudly I could barely hear myself breathe. Charity project? Break her down. Wants me. Doing amazing. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to scream. I wanted to disappear. But Ethan, he looked like someone had stabbed him straight through the chest. I swear to you, I had no idea she was saying things like this about me. I thought she was just being dramatic. I did not know she was using me. He leaned forward. And I definitely did not break you down. I never wanted to hurt you. But he had. He hurt me more than he ever understood. I stared at him. So tell me the truth. Did you like her? He closed his eyes for a moment. I thought I did. Until last night. Until I saw the way she treated you. Until I realized everything she said was a lie. Nora, your sister is not well. I let out a shaky breath. She is not stupid either. She knows exactly where to cut. He nodded. And she has been cutting you for years. I see that now. Something in me snapped. I was tired of bleeding quietly. So what are you going to do? I asked. He didn't answer immediately. He took his phone back, opened his email drafts, and slid the screen toward me. A termination letter. For misconduct. For harassment. For reputation damage. My throat closed. You wrote this already? Yes, he said softly. I wrote it at 3 a.m. I could not sleep knowing I was part of this damage. I froze. Part of me wanted to feel satisfaction, but another part felt guilty. She will say I made you do this. He shook his head. She lost her job because of her own mouth. Not because of you. I looked away. She will destroy me for this. He leaned forward. She already destroyed you. You are just finally stopping her. That was the moment I realized something. I had spent my entire life trying to earn love from the one person who enjoyed seeing me crawl. And now I was done crawling. Ethan exhaled and rubbed his face. I have a meeting with the board in 2 hours. She will be officially out by noon. Those words terrified me and freed me. I whispered, she is going to come for me. He nodded. Let her. You are not alone anymore. But I was, because as much as he said he cared, I could not trust him yet. Not fully. Not after everything. When Ethan left, I sat on my couch and stared at the wall for a long time. My hands would not stop shaking. Around noon, my phone exploded with notifications. Missed calls from my sister. Voicemails. Texts. At first, I ignored them all. But eventually, curiosity won. I clicked her first voicemail. She was screaming. What did you do? What did you do? Do you realize what you cost me? I told you he liked me. I told you he was supposed to pick me, not you. You are nothing, Nora. Nothing? My heart pounded. Another voicemail. You think you won? This is just the beginning. I will make sure everyone knows who you really are. My fingers tightened around the phone. I felt something inside me shift. Then I opened her final message. It was a picture of her, standing outside Ethan's corporate building, with security guards escorting her out. Her caption, "This is your fault. You will pay for this." My hand went cold. She was not just angry. She was unhinged. I called Ethan immediately. He picked up on the first ring. "Where are you?" he asked. "She is outside your building," I said. He sighed. "I know. Security already notified me. She is threatening me." "You are safe," he said. "I will handle her." But he could not. Not really. Not from the things she could say. Not from the lies she could spread. Not from the years of trauma she had already planted in me. That night around 9 p.m., someone banged on my apartment door so hard the hinges rattled. My heart jumped into my throat. I froze. Another knock, louder. And then her voice. "Nora, open the door." I stepped back, breath shaking. I whispered, "Oh God." She kept pounding. "You took everything from me. I trusted you. I helped you. And you stabbed me in the back?" That was a lie. A lie she had told herself so many times she believed it. I called Ethan with trembling fingers. "She is here. At my door." "I am coming," he said. "Right now. Do not open the door." But I was not scared anymore. I was angry. I walked slowly to the door, pressed my forehead against the wood, and spoke calmly. "Go home." Silence. Then her voice dropped lower, darker. "You think he likes you? He is only using you until he gets bored. And he will. You are nothing. You always were." My chest tightened, but I did not break. "Not this time." "No," I whispered. "I was nothing because I believed you. Not anymore." She banged the door one last time and stormed off. Minutes later, Ethan arrived breathless. "Are you okay?" I nodded, but my hands were still trembling. He touched my shoulder gently. "She cannot hurt you anymore." But the truth is, the real damage was already done. The next day, things got worse. My sister started posting about me online. Long paragraphs. Fake stories. Twisted memories. People from our hometown started messaging me, confused, asking what was happening. And somewhere deep inside, a small part of me broke again. Because I knew something she did not. I had proof. I had recordings. Texts. Screenshots. Years of evidence. Evidence I kept hidden to avoid drama. Evidence that painted a very different picture of our childhood. Evidence that showed who she truly was. And I finally realized she had taken everything from me for years. My childhood. My confidence. My sanity. This time I was taking something back. Revenge was not about destroying her. Revenge was about reclaiming me. So I made a decision that changed everything. I opened my laptop. Created a new folder. Dragged all the files in. Labeled it Truth. And hit upload. What happened after? Even I was not prepared for. And my sister? She definitely was not.